Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis coming to you from the Drew Estate Studio. With me today is Jiunn, Seth, guys, John McTavish. How you guys doing today?
Doing well, man.
Good, man. If everybody out there thinks we hate on cigars, boy, get a comfortable seat, get a tasty beverage, because I think this particular review is going to be a little bit of fire today.
I liked it.
All right. So today we are talking about the Mavros Revolucionarios Especiales. This cigar is a Lonsdale 6.5 inch by 42. Comes out of the Mavros factory in Mexico. Wrapper is Mexican San Andres Cubano Negro Maduro. Binder is undisclosed. The filler is Mexican San Andres Cubano Negro and San Andres Criollo Marron. Blended by Don Clemente. Price point is $25, and the cigar was released in January of 2021. So with all that out of the way, June, what was your overall experience like with this cigar?
I think this is an April Fool's joke cigar. Is this really released? Where do you guys see this being sold?
Okay, so somebody reached out to John.
Okay.
And said
the Don Clemente?
No. I don't. No, it was not Don Clemente. So he reached out to John and wanted to send him some cigars, and John put him in touch with me, and so I worked out the deal with him that he was going to send the cigars over, and we review it. So
let it not be said that Developing Palates is not willing to review new cigars. We're more than happy to review new cigars. Absolutely. That policy might change after tonight. However, we're more than happy.
Look, man, if we can review TAAs, we can review anything.
He's got a point. He's got. Listen, man, we did review that bad PCA. We reviewed all those TAAs.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We reviewed some really crappy shit.
It's true. Anyways,
June.
Okay.
You have the floor.
Chrysanthemum tea.
Chrysanthemum. I'll clear it out for you. Yeah.
Chrysanthemum tea. Okay. So imagine you have some chrysanthemum tea in your fridge, and you know how sometimes you make tea. It could go with coffee as well, but you steep it in the hot water for too damn long, and especially with some teas, when you do that, it creates sometimes it's like a highly herbal and highly bitter astringent component to it. That's exactly what I got out of this cigar, right? So when I first puffed on it in the first third, I was like, there's this like really like off-putting like bitter herbal, is it like dry vegetation or what is it? And then by the second third, I was like, this is chrysanthemum tea.
Chrysanthemum, man.
God, I sound like a complete like
chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum.
There you go. You got it that time.
Chrysanthemum. Anyways, I really did not like this cigar. It's there was so much wrong with it, and it's just straight up off-putting. And it looks like it's one of those cigars where like it's like those glass top cohibas or fake cohibas that you buy at the beach, right? Where like it just looks like dull and shit, and the band just look like crap. Like I think we're being played a joke. No way does this cost $25. It's just
I'll speak to that when it's my turn.
It absolutely has to be a joke. I think we're getting punked or something. I really do.
All right, Seth, what were your thoughts?
Can I ask a question really quick? And listen, people love when we go off base. All right, June. All right, have you had chrysanthemum tea?
Am I not Asian? Yeah, of course I've had it.
Okay, so you are okay. I'm just I didn't know what the hell this was, so I'm looking up and I was like, okay,
I've had it. It's delicious tea.
Okay. How do you call it? Do you call it chrysanthemum tea?
I don't know how to pronounce it. I did one of those Google pronunciation things.
Is there a Chinese name for it?
Is there a Chinese name for it?
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But you've had it.
We didn't learn that in Missouri in high school.
You've been drinking this tea your life, and you still fucking can't say chrysanthemum.
I don't know.
All right. What are we talking about, Mavros?
Yeah.
I got totally distracted. Listen, this was rough. It was. I see what he's saying by vegetation, because I was getting like this lemon and like fresh grass and hay qualities, and it wasn't like a positive, like, you know, I feel like with some like, you know, Cohibas, you get like this lemongrass quality, but it's a nice quality, and you can get that lemon peel and those flavors with these, you know, kind of, I consider them like rustic or farm cigars, but this was just like a harsh, really unpleasant wheatgrass kind of flavor profile from beginning to end with this cigar. That was really unpleasant.
Wheatgrass. I could totally see that too.
Some coffee beans here and there. But yeah, that's what I got.
All right, John, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, when I pulled this out of the review humidor and I took a look at it, I had a moment where I was like, "Can we tap out? Like, is it possible?" And you know, I don't want to judge a book by its cover.
Racist.
Wow. Okay, that was awkward.
Fucked up, bro.
Yikes. But when you look at this, and it's important that people realize that pre-light doesn't factor into the score. But like when you grab a cigar and you've handled thousands and thousands and thousands of cigars and you feel a cellophane on this and it feels like the cellophane in a gas station cigar. And if you've ever bought or handled a gas station cigar or rolled a blunt from a gas station cigar, you know what that cellophane feels like. And it's like bubble gum wrapper cellophane. And it's like, oh man, because if a company isn't willing to put in the extra 3 cents per cigar for the cellophane, you know that things are not going to go your way. Now, in defense of Mavros, I suspect what this is, because Jiunn was mentioning the price. I think the price is legitimate, and I think what it is this is a Mexican market cigar that is it's offered in Mexico, and the tobacco taxes in Mexico are very, very high. So it's $25 in Mexico, but I think in the US this would be like a $3.75 cigar. I don't know what the taxes are in Mexico, and I probably should have looked them up. But that's what I think is going on here. So like
I think it might be in pesos, right?
I don't know.
25
I don't think so,
pesos?
because if you go into a cigar shop in Mexico and you were to buy like a Habano cigar, they're
Yeah.
like $50, like $50-$60. Like it's more expensive than Canada.
$25, 25 pesos is a buck 25.
I
So
think
you're
it's
saying
legitimately
there's no-
25
You think
US.
like a Partagas PSD4 in
That'd
Mexico?
cost you like $42 or $44.
it's
and-
like
yes.
Bullshit.
If
Seriously?
you went into an LCDH
Seriously.
in Mexico, yeah.
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 If you go to
Fuck.
an LCDH in like probably Antwerp, it's going to cost you 20, probably in the 20s.
So, anyways, I just want to get that out of the way. I'm pretty
Interesting.
confident it's a tobacco tax thing. You know, obviously, if it was marketed in the U.S., sold in the U.S., I don't know if you'd get around the tobacco taxes. But anywho, this was not a good cigar. This was a really tough cigar to get all the way through. I kind of wish we were like some review sites and I'd only smoked the first inch and then I'd pitched it. I would have had a much better night. I would say it started out okay in that it wasn't offensive. It was kind of sweet. There was some tobacco notes, maybe some trailing earth. But man, when it got into the sort of bottom half of the first third and started to move into the second third, I was like, oh, I'm in trouble, because it was just like somebody had rolled up a hay bale for me, wrapped it in leather, and lit it on fire. And so all I could taste was like burning hay. The chrysanthemum that Jiunn was talking about, I totally get, because it was so bitter and it was so tannic. So like if you were to take a tea bag and steep it for like 9 minutes and then suck on it, that's what it tastes like. It's
Yeah.
just so astringent. And
That's
it
what she
like
said.
my throat was burning. I was, as the meme goes, bro, I was straight up not having a good time. And when this cigar finished, I was pretty ecstatic that it was done, because I was like, I would not smoke this again. And I don't know if this is, they say the binder's undisclosed, but I suspect this is a Mexican Puro cigar. And in practice, I've smoked a lot of Mexican Puro cigars because there's a lot of them on the market in Canada, and they're not particularly good. It's just not a tobacco that makes for a very interesting cigar. So I think even if even if it had been blended in a different way, I'm not sure it would have been that great. Weirdly, the burn was all right. The ash held on pretty well, and the draw was all right. It was just slightly snug. But my overall experience was very subpar.
Why did they use
very
Mexican San Andreas? You know what I'm saying?
Because it's expensive. So
Expensive.
that's why I say, like,
That's a
Well,
fitness
it's
cigar.
$25.
yeah, but it's not $25. It's $25 to you, but you have to think, like, I bet the whatever B&M cost on this cigar, the equivalent in the US marketplace, I bet it's about $2 or $3.
Aaron, I want you and Coop to get this guy on prime time. You guys should interview this guy on prime
See what
time.
we can do. See what we can do.
Anyway, it was straight up not a good time. Aaron?
After this, you may not want to talk to me again. So who knows?
Probably not.
Yeah.
For me, the cigar was a fairly basic and average experience. Although it was unique, kind of centered around smoky wood with black pepper early on, then light earth later. Things finished on a down note with char and bitterness. I was intrigued by the cigar. New brand, interesting story behind it. It's supposed to be designed for what the Mexican generals smoked. So that's interesting, but price point's quite high. That's definitely going to be a barrier to entry for in the US and people try it.
Oh,
All right. I'm on that.
so we got you up to the barrier to entry.
Okay. Yeah. So it'll be a barrier to entry for people if they're going to try it in the US, I think. But we'll see what happens with the cigar. But yeah, I don't see coming back to it. Price point's too high. Experience is not worth it. But I'm glad I got a chance to try it. It's nice trying new and unique things. So, all right, we're going to get into the scores, and the scores were a bit interesting. So I was a high score at 5.25. Jiunn, Seth, and John all scored at 4.18, but they all scored it
Wow.
differently, but they got to the same score. So I'm
Wow.
going to start with John because he's the only one that had a flavor rating that was above subpar. So John, 4.8.
You're not going to defend yourself first?
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm going first. Yeah, it was a slightly low average.
You
flavor profile.
so like the
Sorry,
first time.
sorry.
Is this the first time in the history of developing palates that you've ever gone first in a
No.
I
review?
think it is.
No, it's not. It's
no,
not because remember
no.
with the
Which one?
Oh,
Name another
yeah.
cigar.
the
The
tallow.
tallow.
El
El
Tayo, I
Tallow.
went first.
You just have a sweet spot for bad cigars.
I do.
That's
I
what that
do.
is.
Everybody says I like to hate on cigars, but when when everybody wants to hate on a cigar and I'm not the hater, then there's a problem. So yeah, it was
Anyways, please proceed, sir.
below average flavor profile, really good construction. Yeah, I mean, look, I would smoke this over 20% of the other cigars that we review. And I know none of you guys are going to say that, but I will say that. If price point,
fucking way.
If price wasn't, if price was not a factor, yes. Look, how many times have I scored in the fours?
There's hold. Oh, yeah, 20%. I'm thinking
20%.
about all these past things
20%.
I mean, we've some. You can keep going. This defense, I need to look this up.
No problem. We're going to do another review later tonight that I would rather smoke this then. So, but yeah.
Wait a minute. Oh,
You just broke Seth's brain.
All right, John, you're the next one to go.
Listen, I will say,
4.8.
yeah, 4.18. I will say that I agree with you in principle that here at Developing Palates, we're always willing to try out new cigars. In fact, to me, that's part of the fun of doing reviews is reviewing new cigars and potentially finding new good stuff. So despite having mixed results sometimes, I'm always happy to do that. And I don't want to crap on the brand too much because that's not really respectful. But listen, bro, this was not a good cigar. And I don't know how anyone could smoke this in a premium cigar category and be okay with this being in the market. I don't really care what it costs. If you handed this to me and said it's either this or, I mean, I don't even know, like a Phillies.
A Ron Mexico.
I would happily smoke a Ron Mexico before I would smoke this.
I mean,
This is just the flavor profile. I kid you not. My throat was on fire until like 10 or 11 o'clock that night, and I smoked this in the morning. It was so palate dominant that I couldn't smoke another cigar that day, and nothing could get the taste out of my mouth. It was not good. And if you paid me $25, I'm not sure I'd want to smoke another one of these cigars again. That's all I got to say about that.
So Seth and Jiunn scored it the same to get to the same score. So I'll let Seth go first, 4.18.
I've never smoked a raw in Mexico, man. I've never smoked.
I've got one for you if you want it.
Don't waste your time.
Nope, not going to. Listen, it smoked. After I smoked, I was like, $25. This is crazy, but like, it's one of those like it smoked like a classic bundle cigar that should be like $2-3, but you're like, man, this is a classic little bundle, not really good. Good cigar. So it's I don't care for it. I think it's terrible. I mean, I would never spend $25 on it. I'm more fascinated now that Aaron would smoke this over some of the other stuff.
I know.
I'm like really worried about one of the cigars too, that because if we're gonna be talking about it, I can't remember how many of these we've done tonight, but
all right, Jiunn, 4.18.
It's just, I'm starting to feel bad that we're really ripping on this cigar. I'm starting to feel kind of bad about it.
But you have to be honest. You have to be honest.
You have to be honest, though.
Yeah, because when I was even writing my overall, I said something like, "Do you like chrysanthemum tea?"
It would have been
And then
great if you had spelled it like that.
And then I said, "Oh, I could direct you to many websites where you could get an ounce for $15, and you're welcome. I just saved you $10, right?" So I wrote that and I submitted it, and it's okay. Once in a while, you have to have fun because we smoke a lot of shit cigars, or average cigars, not shit cigars.
It's okay to shit. That's what they are.
Okay, yeah. Man, it's it's unique in the sense that we all kind of believe how bad it is, and it's really unique to go through something like this instead of being like, oh, this is an Asian blend, this is an Asian blend, this is another Asian blend, So
Yep, exactly. We've all said a lot. Any other final thoughts, or we've kind of beat it to death? Yeah. All right. If you just catch this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us. We'll also check out the full written review on the website, developingpalates.com. Follow us on all the social media channels, and you can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts, iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We will catch you on the next one.
Especiales.